Welcome to the Alexandra Wenman Show. I'm here with the lovely Millie from Urban Buddha in Parsons Green. Hi Millie.
Hi, how
nice
are you?
to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
We're just going to take a little tour around this beautiful sanctuary that is Urban Buddha. Honestly, if you can get down to Parsons Green, this shop, just have a look around this shop. I walked in and was just buzzing with all the crystal energy. Millie, how long have you guys been here now?
On and off for about 13 years, and I say on and off because before we had a different name, but we've been dealing with crystals ever since.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So 13 years. What was your name previously?
It was Mind, Body, Spirit.
Mind, Body, Spirit.
Yeah.
That's what it says on the tin, doesn't it? But it's Urban Buddha. You look around here, there's so much beautiful stuff. And aside from crystals, you have jewelry, you have essences. What was your vision in creating this shop? What led you to set this up?
Well, basically it is that we live in such a fast city and everybody goes around with very little mindfulness and very little sense of peace and a lot of stress. So we thought Urban Buddha, the name says it all, is like a oasis where people can come and people can enjoy of the benefit that the crystals can give. And it has happened that way because a lot of people feel the peacefulness and the quietness of the place, and they end up buying crystals to use them in their own homes, and it's almost like a portal for the crystals to go out. Yeah.
It is definitely. And you know a lot about crystals, don't you? When did your journey with crystals begin?
Well, I have always been sort of involved in a sort of a journey, because my journey really started trying to know about the minds. Initially I studied psychology.
Oh, wow.
Then I went on to study art, and then I came to England, and then I started with flowers. So it's a flower kingdom, the crystal kingdom, they're all very much interconnected.
It's all the elementals,
yes,
isn't it?
Exactly. And I remember when I was doing my flowers, I used to hear this voice that said, "Get out of the rat race." I didn't know where it came from, but it really bothered me. So I closed the business with flowers, and I think organically I came into crystals because I've always, since I was little, I always liked them. And then I started sort of going more and more into that side of things. It's almost like, I don't know, to have a support into getting to know what I was going to do next with my life. And that's how this started I came here, I started doing, working on weekends. I started sort of sourcing the crystals, and I went more and more into that area.
Wow.
And I never looked back.
You never look back. And have you done any kind of training in crystal healing, or
I started doing a training. I studied for about 2 years, and then after that, I carry on doing crystal healing, and it's just, I remember my teacher once, I said, it's really funny because when I see a crystal, I never forget the name, and if I forget, my third eye, my intuition will tell me that's the crystal. And he said, well, the reason being, Millie, is not because you're learning them, it's because you're remembering them.
Past life, right?
Because you must have worked with them in a past life. And then I take that for granted because it really amazes me how the connection, when I was in Brazil, I was like walking around in this crystal area, and sometimes I used to look at the shops and I did not want to get into that shop because those crystals look at me really unhappy. So I was able to detect when they were happy or when they were unhappy, and I want to believe that we keep them here happy.
So you know all about how to cleanse them
exactly.
and give love to them, because they all have their own consciousness.
Absolutely,
don't they?
totally. They have this vibration, and the only thing they ask of us is to respect them.
Yeah.
And then they to be left alone to do their work.
So is Brazil where you're from originally?
No, I'm from Venezuela, but I had a Brazilian partner.
Ah, okay.
And then I went to the depths of the Amazons, being into crystals, and I sort of I remember one day I was there and I was dreaming with this crystal, and I thought it was the influence of being in Brazil. And the day after, we were going to visit this guy that had, and the crystal that I saw, it weighed about 5 tons, and it was the one I saw in my dreams. And when I arrived there, it was right at the entrance of the place, and I almost burst into tears. And it was, you touch it, and it bounced back. Yeah. It was just the most amazing experience. So, it's almost like I am with them and they are with me.
Yeah, you are like one of them.
Yeah, I feel for them.
So I have a particular thing for the crystal skulls, and when I first heard about these crystal skulls and started seeing them, I thought, that's a bit weird. What's this whole thing about skulls? And then one day I was in a crystal shop in Covent Garden, and I swear to God, one of these skulls started talking to me. And I had this instant love connection with this tiny little rose quartz skull, and it told me its name was Jeffrey. And I mean, what my experience of the skulls is that they hold wisdom. But I want to get Millie's take on the crystal skulls, because I think you've probably got a little bit of wisdom and knowledge of your own to share about these.
Well, to be honest, it's like you. When I first saw them, I had a bit of a thing about them, but somehow, I started dreaming about them, and I started talking to people, and people talking to me about the skulls, and I thought, no, there's some work that needs to be done with them. They are very powerful.
Oh yeah.
And they have appeared more and more. They're more of a trend these days, and precisely because they need to be here. Because they need to exercise their power and their connection to people. So, more and more people come to the shop and say, I have been having this feeling that I need to work. They are very empowering. Yeah. And we need a lot of empowering. As much as there is a lot of light in the planet right now, there is a lot of darkness. And the more of the light arrives, the more the darkness manifests. So I think the skulls are precisely to empower people to carry on their work toward the light.
Amazing.
That's basically what my take is.
Should we have a look at, because you've got some beautiful skulls down here. Are these clear quartz?
This is my favorite one.
What is this got green in him?
It's got a bit of a I would say that is almost like a black tourmaline or a grain inside, but it feels like elderly. Yeah, whenever I look at it, this is like a young chap, and this as well, but this is much more.
Well, how comes you've got this one in the shop? I think that you have a connection.
I know. Tell me about it. No, but the real connection I have is with this baby here, which is...
Oh yeah, let's bring him out.
This is an amazing piece.
Has this one given you his name yet?
Oh, I haven't been too close to him because I would like to take him home, and I'm not going to.
Yeah, I can hear Charlie.
Oh God, don't say that.
You can't name them because then they want to come home with you.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like pets.
But this is an amazing... Look at the rainbows. Look at the rainbows he's got.
He's beautiful.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Beautiful.
And they do, like the human skull, the mathematical equation, like the mathematical proportions of the human skull is said to be the mathematics that it houses wisdom. The shape of our skull is the house of wisdom in terms of sacred geometry and the mathematical proportions.
But it's interesting. These ones come from Brazil.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And I actually have seen the ones that come from Mexico.
Yeah.
And they're not anywhere near.
Same.
No, they're not the same. And I tell you why I think
I've got a rose quartz from Brazil.
It's my personal opinion because Mexico had a very what's the word? It was a very bloody culture at the time, and I don't think skulls come from the idea of that. So whenever you see a skull that doesn't look quite, I reckon it's Mexican. The Brazilians do an amazing piece. Because they are connected to the light. Yeah. They're not connected to the darkness.
It's higher wisdom, higher light.
Absolutely.
I find that I know when they want to come home with me and when they don't. It will be like these guys don't want to come home with me. I can talk to them and I like them.
Yeah.
But every now and then there'll be one that just it's like, pick me.
Oh, well, that happens with crystals too.
And crystals too,
Yeah.
definitely. They have their own little, and you just know, and it's like a love connection, isn't it? Like a
Absolutely.
pet or a plant or someone that you feel that real unconditional love with. They have personalities, and it's amazing.
Oh no! Sometimes they produce all sorts of emotions on you as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was with this beautiful crystal that came from Russia, and every time I passed by that stand, I felt like crying.
Yeah.
And it was that piece, and I thought I disregarded it because I am very grounded on the other side of things, and I thought no.
Yeah.
And then I went back again, and I felt tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
And I thought, and now it's in my house. And it's like, oh my God.
Part of the family, right?
Yes, exactly. You can say that
Yeah.
again, definitely.
Well, it's funny, like my husband reckons he studied geology at uni and he loves crystals, but he reckons it's only because he likes the way they look.
Mm-hmm.
But people walk into my house and they go, oh my God, look at all your crystals. And I'm like, actually, this one, and this one are my husband's. And he's like obsessed with amethyst, but he reckons it's because it just looks pretty. And I'm like,
No, it doesn't.
they're talking to you,
It's nothing like
sweetheart.
that. Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
we know.
And did you know that from the sacred geometry, there is an analysis that have been done. I can't remember the guy that did it, but the analysis that have been done that every crystal you like is directly related to your personality.
Oh, I
And
believe
your
that.
process of development.
Yeah, definitely.
I've got the book in my house. It's
Yeah.
a really amazing book. But I mean, but it's true.
Yeah.
And I am fascinated with the clear quartz.
Oh, yeah.
And when I read the definition of my sort of personality, spot
Direct.
on.
Yeah, direct.
Spot on.
Look into the future, manifesting,
Absolutely.
clarity of purpose. I like it. I really like it. I just want to come and have a look at this huge chunk of lapis lazuli over here.
Yes.
Lapis, it was very big in ancient Egypt.
Yes.
Come and tell me about this piece, my darling. Where did you find this beauty?
Well, this piece has been here for a while. I am, I am not bothered about the piece moving and going anywhere.
You're quite happy for it to
No,
be.
I'm quite happy for some of them. And in fact, Yvonne, my colleague, could tell you that sometimes I don't even like the idea when they
I
go.
know, like, don't take it.
But I mean, I got that particular piece come from Afghanistan,
Oh, wow.
where probably is one of the best sources of lapis. But I mean, I just absolutely love that piece, and I bought it with a lot of others. All of them have sold,
Yeah.
and I think I have to program.
It's like a
That
door.
needs to
This
go.
is like a doorstop, doesn't it? Yeah, because
Yeah.
maybe you're not letting go of this one.
That's just
Maybe I'll take this one home with me.
Sometimes that happened. There was a guy that had a crystal shop in Chiswick, and I remember going there and seeing the most beautiful crystals. And he told me really very sad that but they were not selling, and he was having problems. And I said, "Well, have you spoken to them? Have you told them that they're here to serve the people, to help people?" Yeah, I never thought of that. And he felt he thought I was a bit funny. And I said, well, I do that sometimes with the crystals by myself.
I bet he
and
went
I
away
think
and
I need to
tried
go
it.
and whatever. And then I went back because he was like doing a necklace for me. And when I went back, he said, I did what you told me to do. And they have been selling. And I said, well, there you have it.
Yeah.
There you have it. They pick up your vibration. If your vibration is not one of happiness or of letting them go with happiness, then they will stay.
Yeah.
They will stay.
Yeah, you've got to share the love, right?
Absolutely,
love.
totally.
I'd be terrible at owning a shop. I just would. I'm like a magpie, so.
But
me
you know,
letting
but
go.
it does happen that you get used to it, and you get used to. Sometimes I pick up crystals, and I wonder why, because really, actually, it's not a crystal that I would normally pick up for whatever reason, because the price too high and whatever. But I pick them up, and suddenly this person comes the day after and picks it up and take it, and I think,
You know.
you weren't to stay here. You
Yeah.
were here to go. You were
Yeah.
here as a stepping stone to move on to somebody that needed you. So,
Yeah.
and I believe that very much with the crystal, because whenever whenever I bring new crystals on, you should see the movement around the shop. People suddenly start coming and buying.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the crystals are calling people. I got these, the Meru Pyramids, which are very great pyramids to have, and I got them yesterday. And yesterday, a lady called. He said, I wonder if you sell pyramids in this shop. And I said, we sell the Meru Pyramids. And I said, oh my God, you're the only shop selling them. And I only got them yesterday. Meru Pyramids are very powerful pyramids. They're very cleansing. They deflect like negative energy from the house. If you put it on the east side of the house, they're like, protecting your space. They're also great to put, if you put a glass of water there the night before and drink it the day after. I mean, it's the most amazing.
Reprograms it back to its divine.
Totally programmed. It's totally, how do you call when the water goes back to, like if it was underneath the earth?
Fresh spring water. Amazing.
Exactly. Amazing.
Wow. And I'm going to come over here. I want to just point out this beautiful piece here. This is Bumblebee Jasper.
Yeah.
Tell us about this piece, Millie. How did you come by this piece?
Do you know what? I didn't know very much about Bumblebee Jasper until a month ago.
Wow.
And those colors are me. I love yellow. And then I asked after it, and they said, well, it's a Bumblebee Jasper, and she explained what it was all about, and I find it fascinating. You probably know more than I do about
well, I only came across it fairly recently as well. I think it's from Australia, is it?
Yes,
I think it is, yeah. Well,
but only by looking at it, I would think a grey stone.
Yeah.
Solar plexus stone.
And it does, like when you pick it up, I find that it has a really buzzy, zingy, almost flitty kind of bumblebee energy. It's Jasper to begin with.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But on that case, I would say, it's a solar plexus stuff. It's something to stand on your own 2 feet. It helps you to correct a lot of things that are not helping you to move on or to...
And overcoming adversity as well, because the bumblebee, as we know, the wings shouldn't be big enough to lift that body, should they? But it overcomes... It's like achieving the impossible, isn't it? I can't actually speak English today.
Stone.
It's an amazing stone. Amazing.
Yeah, beautiful.
So we're just now looking at these pieces of meteorite here, these tektites that Millie's got here in the shop. As you can see, they're very heavy. They're like rock that's turned to metal because they've become so compressed. And the thing about meteorites is that really it's material that doesn't really come from our planet, does it?
It's extraterrestrial.
So it's extraterrestrial material. Some of these are billions and billions of years old. And they actually, the energy of it is like having 10 cups of coffee, isn't it? Yes. You can feel that it's so much more powerful.
Yes, they are. But they're very grounding. Oh, yeah. Very grounding. And like Moldavite. Moldavite is like that sort of a stone that the first time I put it on, I went really dizzy. I was like, oh my God, what happened? Until it enters into your energy.
And then you align.
And then you start working on you, whether you like it or not. Yeah. I mean, one day a part of me wanted to procrastinate a bit. And another part said, no, you can't. You've got to get on with it. And I thought, that is the Moldavite.
That's the Moldavite. Maybe I need some more Moldavite.
Yeah, we have beautiful Moldavite.
These are great. So where do these meteorite, these little ones come from?
This is called Campo di Cielo, come from Argentina.
Okay.
It's one of the most looked for meteorites apart from Moldavite. It's very pure, it's very powerful, it's very transformative, like Moldavite. But it's in another, they're slightly different. Moldavite. What can you say about Moldavite? Everything has been said about Moldavite. You have to experience Moldavite.
You do. Yeah, it's very cosmic, isn't it?
That's it's the same with the meteorites. You have to experience them, and then it's not for the faint-hearted. No. That's another thing I would say. I wouldn't recommend it for somebody that is not well, or I think it can put somebody on the spot unnecessarily. you know.
Yeah.
But it's a great stone. It's a stone of change.
It is a stone of change, definitely.
If you don't want change, or you are refusing it or finding it difficult, don't look for Moldavite.
Yeah. Somebody told me they fainted once wearing a large chunk of
Moldavite. Definitely. Somebody came once and tried to sell me this big bracelet with Moldavite. I said, you know what? No.
Too much.
You know, that is too much for somebody to carry. I mean, obviously, people that work constantly with the light and things like that, maybe they could. And maybe they should as well, because they need a lot of grounding, a lot of people. But the normal person, I think, is strong.
It's
very strong.
What's this baby you've got down here as well? Let's have a look.
That's the same. That's Campo di Cielo.
That's a big piece of Campo di Cielo. Should we do a
I
close-up?
I got this. I went to get some crystals, and like you said before, I picked it up. It was like it would be here. I picked it up, and the moment I put it in, it says, "Take me."
Take me home.
And I took
yours.
it, and I've never wanted to say it. It's always been there for whatever reason.
Could I meet him? Oh, yeah. It's like the weight of these. They don't look that heavy, but because they're like a lot of these have titanium and iridium, different metals that are. I mean, it's literally a rock that has turned to compressed metal. It's like a lump of lead in your hand.
Absolutely.
They're amazing. Do you know how old this one is?
Oh, I mean, millions,
must be
billions of years. Definitely.
The one I have that's similar to this is 65 billion years old.
Well,
so
can you
I reckon
imagine?
they're billions.
And can you imagine the size that they must have been?
This is like pre-dinosaurs, possibly.
Exactly.
You know.
The size, they're slightly different.
And they're record keepers, so they think about how much history this stone has seen. It's been through space, hurtling through space. It's just, it beggars belief, doesn't it?
Fascinates me. Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's picked up information, cosmic light, codes, knowledge, wisdom, and you just sit with this and meditate on it. You
and
can
other
bring that
planets
wisdom.
and other lives.
Other lives,
if I'm allowed
other
to say
planets,
that,
definitely.
because people say, "Oh, forget it."
Definitely. Some of these, I reckon, you may have even come into contact with this in a past life.
Absolutely.
Like the one that the one that came to me, I felt like I'd sent it to myself as a reminder, as like, whew, let's send this through space, and you'll get it when you get to Earth, and it will remind you of home. Do I sound a bit nuts when I say that? But
well,
we're all waking up.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Would we be talking about this if we weren't how we are?
Well, it's my kind of mission to normalize this stuff. It's been hidden for too long. We're the witch trials are done, people. We don't need to be persecuted for this anymore. This is divine feminine, and everyone watching this show is going to be on our wavelength. So I think we need to be sharing this openly.
No, because I find a lot of people. A girl came yesterday and she asked me what were the stones for the house, and then I explained to her what I thought they were, and she bought them. And she was the most unlikely person to be buying crystals.
But something in her.
But something. She said, I've been reading about them, and I said, well, if I were you, I would stop a bit about reading about it and start experiencing
feeling
them,
it,
because thanks God for the books.
Yeah.
But it's not written in a stone.
No. Well, Tatler magazine had an article on crystals recently. I noticed. I was in a hairdresser the other day, and they gave me Tatler, and I was like,
God, yes,
double page spread on crystals
A friend brought it
with a picture of Superman, and
absolutely. And a lot of people that was them, that people that you couldn't imagine. Like there was one famous.
There's Victoria Beckham is into her crystals.
Yeah.
All the celebs are getting into it now. Camilla Dallarup, who used to be on Strictly Come Dancing, she's a crystal healer. She works with crystals and healing now in Los Angeles. So there's a lot of people as well, people in the public eye, that are waking up and extolling the virtues of these precious, precious gems. And
totally.
it's wonderful.
And the world needs more of it.
They do. It does, yeah.
Needs more of it. We need more of the divine feminine coming into everything, including politics.
Definitely.
Because we are what we are.
Yes.
Basically, because there's too much of a yang in there.
Yeah. Well, I think we know
balance.
that old paradigm is definitely breaking down and being rebalanced now, isn't it? So everyone, get hold of your black tourmaline and your onyx and ground yourself and prepare, because there's a big shift happening.
Yeah, it is happening as we speak.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
Yeah, and you can see evidence of it everywhere, can't you?
Totally. Left, right, and center. People waking up. People not knowing why, but they want one.
Yeah.
I've seen the most unlikely people come here, and they're not knowing why they want a crystal, but they want a crystal. They buy a crystal and walk off.
Yeah.
Really happy with them.
Yeah.
So.
And this place, I've got to say, like with all of the chaos and the havoc that feels like it's churning around us in this world, on this planet, in this city even, a place like this beautiful urban Buddha and lovely Millie, who's so full of knowledge and wisdom, this is just the place to come to escape all of that. Come in, ground yourself, and take a breather from all of the craziness out there, and just come and be a little bit zen here and enjoy these beautiful crystal energies. Millie, thank you so much for talking to us today. It's been an absolute pleasure, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
I hope so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.